Hi everyone and welcome to Impact. We got a great new week ahead of us and we have many interesting topics and guests. But before we get to that, I always want to mention to you that we here at Impact love to hear from you. We want to hear your comments, your questions, your suggestions, or maybe you'd like to be a guest on Impact. You can contact us by email at impact@proctors.org, impact@proctors.org, or go to Facebook and like us on Facebook. Go to Impact Show on Facebook and click on like. Well, I'm Nick Barbie, your host. We got a great new week ahead of us, so stay tuned and we'll get on with the show. Next is our roving reporter segment. Huldah Thompson, our roving reporter, will be interviewing Kim Bellizzi. Kim is from the Schenectady Business and Professional Women's Club. Kim will be talking about their Life Unplugged program. This is a program that helps prepare teenagers for life, a very, very important program. So let's watch Kim with Life Unplugged.
Welcome to Impact's Roving Reporter, where we highlight special events in and around the capital region. This week we're highlighting Life Unplugged by the Schenectady Business and Professional Women's Club. My guest is Kim Bellizzi. Kim, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much. Now, before we get into Life Unplugged, talk to me a little bit about who you are and what you do here in the capital region.
Okay. I was a teacher. Before I moved up to New York, I taught high school science for about 6 years. And then actually my last job was that of a volunteer coordinator for an animal shelter.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you're an animal lover also?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, and I've always loved animals. When I went to school, I got a degree from Texas A&M University, wanted to be a veterinarian. That didn't happen, but I pursued careers that had to do with animals. And the volunteer position that I had, a coordinator, was one of the most challenging and rewarding positions I've had.
Yes, so as a teacher, as an animal lover, I will say you are a natural caregiver.
Yes, yes I am.
So talk to us about Life Unplugged and this Schenectady Business and Professional Women's Program.
Okay, I joined the Schenectady BPW about 3 years ago, and they gave me youth leadership because of my prior teaching experience. Then Life Unplugged, I got introduced to it about 2 years ago. They sent me to Lake Placid with about 3 or 4 girls from the community, and they did a little demo. And I said, this looks like a great program.
Yes.
What the program is it's focused on students between the ages of 14 and 19. It's to help with financial planning, career planning, and they are given careers with a salary, and they go through a series of 15 booths that are manned by volunteers that have some kind of a background with that booth. And they have their monthly balance that they have in their book after taxes are taken out, and they have to go and purchase a home, a vehicle, insurance, gas, electric. So they get to see a glimpse of what it would be like at 24 years old, their first career.
Exactly. Now, I love this program because it promotes education.
Yes, it does. We're trying to promote continuing education for students.
Yes.
A lot of these students get wrapped up in a job. They don't go on to continue their education, and the job may seem as though it pays a lot, you know, when they're 18 years old.
That is true. That is true.
But they have no idea where that's going to bring them financially, you know, in the years to come.
And that's the second thing that I loved about the program is the concept of understanding money.
Yes.
Because I must tell you, when I got into college, I got my textbook, bought it, and then opened the textbook, and there were applications for credit cards.
Oh yeah.
And so, not having any background in understanding the concept of money, I just signed up for credit cards, like many of my contemporaries did.
Absolutely.
And when we finished college and we got into the real world, we were already in debt because we did not understand the concept of money.
It's not free money.
Exactly, it's not free money, you know. And so what I loved about this program was that these young high school kids got an opportunity to see themselves 20 years in the future, to understand the concept of how money is important and how money ties into education. Because the better education you have, it leads to better income, it leads to a better lifestyle, and they got to see it firsthand you know, in the career that they had?
I was a nurse, LPN.
All right, were you married or single?
I had an employed spouse, thank goodness.
And how many kids did you have?
I had 4.
What was the most surprising thing of the whole experience for you?
Definitely how much children cost. I mean, I knew they were expensive, but this was like crazy off the charts. I mean, childcare alone was like put me in debt by like a good $1,000. Food, by that time I had just left the childcare station, so when I got the food I was like, I'm already in a hole, and I'm thinking, oh, hopefully this won't be so much. It was like $662 because I had such a large family, and that was like low income food, so it was still really rough.
So when you go to the grocery store with your mom, how are you going to feel now?
Oh my, definitely not asking for anything. I'll be like, you have coupons, you can cut some corners here. Like,
so that was truly a reality check for you to see the childcare and the food costs.
Huge reality check, huge.
Are you planning to go to college?
Most definitely. I want to become either a sports psychologist or neuropsychologist. So.
Okay, so something in the medical field.
Most definitely,
definitely. Yeah. And so you understand the value of $1 these days?
Oh my gosh, now I do. Like before I was like, whatever. Like I kind of like went through money like water, and now I'm just like, I want the $1 back.
Talk to us about the students that participated.
The students that participated, whether it be a high school, or we actually reached out to a lot of different organizations that had to do with students, so they could have learned about it.
Okay.
But I'll list, there's a nice list of students. It's the capital area was included, not just Schenectady, which we had first intended to.
Yes, yes.
There were students from Bishop Gibbons, the Schenectady High School, Albany Academy for Girls, Niskayuna High School, Boys and Girls Program, Smart Scholar Program, and Washington Irving High School.
So it encapsulated the entire capital region. And not only because, again, I was, when I saw the thing, I thought it was only for girls. Yes. Because in my mind, it is the female most of the time who's handling the checkbook, who's doing the grocery shopping, the clothes shopping, and most of the time paying the bills.
Right.
And so I thought this is for girls. And then I realized that boys were allowed to come in and be a part of this too.
It was a kind of interesting experience here today. Actually, the cost of some things was kind of surprising. Like with the clothes, I didn't think it would cost that much, but it was like $600 something what I got. And I was just given I had a spouse and only one child, and it still cost $670 something.
Talk to us about the importance of boys being a part of this program.
Well, it was kind of a little bit of a mistake that we didn't put on the application that it was just for girls.
Yes.
And so boys did sign up, and we're like, why not?
Exactly.
I mean, they need to learn, the impact of the choices they make. What's going to happen.
Exactly.
And it was very interesting because we had a couple there, boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yes.
And at the end, they had a comment.
Yes.
About
He
it.
said, I think one of the counselors said, we can't afford to have kids.
They can't afford to have kids.
We cannot afford to have kids,
Right,
even though,
childcare.
exactly, because two of the biggest items that takes up a lot, or three, I would say, insurance, childcare, and housing.
Yes.
It was a good experience. It was stressful at first because we had all these expenses, and like you think you start out with a lot of money, but like it goes away really quickly. And the most expensive thing, I didn't know children cost as much as they did.
How many kids did you have?
I had 2, and my child care was like $918. So I didn't know they cost so much. So now it's like I know what my parents go through. 3
big items that these kids have little concept of, and now here they were in a reality that they have to face the fact that, okay, by the time I got to this boot, that boot, and the other boot, I had no money left for entertainment or for even the little simple things that I wanted.
Absolutely.
There was nothing left.
No, there is nothing left. And it was very interesting. I said it's sort of like, our own form of birth control.
Yes.
Because they did make the comment they were going to wait to have children.
Yes.
And they didn't take it so lightly. And there are a lot of, young students out there that do get married and have children early on. Now they see what kind of bills they're going to incur.
Exactly.
And a lot of the careers that the kids were given, we try to coordinate with things that interest them. So if they didn't make a lot of money, they couldn't afford a lot of money, they have to go back and rethink what type of careers they're going to choose.
So some of the people we had financial people there. We had, so what are some of the other companies that came?
We had just the bankers, financial people, real estate agents, insurance agents, medical assistants, transportation, travel and leisure. I'm trying to even think of something. Food.
Yes.
Okay, so they have a booth with food, and I'm trying to think of even some of the other ones. But it was all the bills that you would pay on a regular basis were represented through the 15 booths that were there.
Now, one of my favorite comments that I got from one of the students was on food. Yes. She said she finally realized the importance of her mom using coupons. Yes. And the fact that when she said, "Oh, I want this, I want that," she did not understand how much the concept. She didn't understand the concept of budgeting, couponing, and she said, I took those things for granted, but now when I go out shopping with my mom, it's gonna change my perspective of shopping with her.
Yes.
And I think that is such a great help for any young person to understand.
It is.
That because we are so accustomed of getting, I want this, I want this, I want this new phone. Why can't you give me this new phone? Everybody else have this new phone. And if for them to understand and to get a glimpse into life as an adult and the stress, the hard choices a parent has to make to say, no, it's not like I don't want to give you, but I can't afford it. That's a reality.
I have two favorite comments from the students that really bring that home. It's one of them said, "This program taught me to appreciate my mother and how much things cost." Another one, "I didn't realize how many things people have to consider." All of these different, you think about the big things. Okay, we know you have a car and a house, but some of the, like we talked about, the insurance and how expensive health care.
Yes, I believe that when you are in the 12th grade, your brain is ready to understand grown-up things.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of young people, sometimes they don't go to college. They end up, getting pregnant, and it becomes a very bad, cycle for them. And they can't seem to get themselves out of there. But if you understand now what you may get yourself into, it changes your perspective, and it enables you to maybe achieve higher in education and go even farther. And I think this is such a wonderful program that the Schenectady Business and Professional Women did, and I commend you guys for doing it.
Thank you very much.
Because I didn't have it when I was growing up, and I'm so glad that these young women from the Capital Region and young men were able to, and I'm assuming that you guys are doing this next year.
Yes, this was our first year, our test pilot, and it was very well accepted.
Yes.
There are people at the middle school level that want us to do it. There are people, women in transition.
Yes.
So a lot of people have reached out to us. The volunteers loved it and want to come back and volunteer again. And that's really important. We had great sponsors who are willing to sponsor and then give even more next year because now they get the concept.
Exactly.
The community has been wonderful. So yes, we will be doing this again, I'm sure, every year.
Okay. Now, what are some of the other things that the club does?
Our fashion show, annual fashion show, which is huge. It generates a lot of money, and I don't know if anyone's aware, but our purpose is to take the money that is produced from the fashion show and other events and turn it into scholarships for the youths of Schenectady and women returning to work, or even starting for the first time that didn't have a chance to do it before.
I think that is wonderful. Women giving back to women is always a big thing for me.
Absolutely.
Yes. Now, before we go, just mention how can people get more information on the club?
We have a great website. It's SchenectadyBPW.org, and you can get all the information on upcoming events. You're more than welcome to come to any of our meetings, which are held the last Tuesday of every month at the Stockade Inn, a wonderful dinner. The food's always a motivator for me.
Yes.
And it's just a great group of women that support one another and the community.
Okay. Now, membership is, how do we become a member if you want to be a member?
You can come to one of these dinners, or you can just email, and the application's actually right on the website.
Good.
So you can fill out the application, but if you'd like to come and see what we are all about first, you may do so and come to one of our dinners.
Okay. Kim, it's been a pleasure having you here on Roving Reporter segment of Impact. Please feel free to come back again.
Absolutely.
And thank you very much.
Thank you.
You've been watching the Roving Reporter segment here on Impact Show. I'm Huldah Thompson. See you next time.
Proctors, bringing the best in arts, education, and entertainment.